Hi, my name is Lindy Cowling and welcome to my channel. My website is www.lindycowling.co.uk. Email is info@lindycowling.co.uk. And email is the way to get in touch with me if you wish to get in touch with me, please. The title of the first of two short videos I'm doing this evening, by popular request, is New Energy Defined. New Energy Defined. So if you have been watching any or all of the videos I've brought out really in around the last year, many times I will have referred to new energy, and sometimes there are snippets, of explanation of what that new energy is in the video that I'm making at the time, but I don't think I've ever brought one out that's just entirely on that, focusing on what new energy is. So it's an irony really, because new energy, and what we call new energy, is really our return to an original state of pure consciousness that has always been there, but it's our return to accessing it. Why I call it new energy is because in my lifetime I have only, in the course of my work and also personally, begun to see people entering this state of consciousness in the last approximately 16 to 18 months. The way I can best describe it is new energy is a state of consciousness with absolutely nothing on it. No programming on it, no karma on it. It is just pure existing consciousness. 0 point. And when people hit this state of consciousness, it is extremely easy for me to detect that within them. So when I am talking to people, or whether I am working with people, it usually takes me anywhere between 3 minutes and about 10 minutes to recognize, even if they haven't recognized it within themselves, that that is the state they are at. And so again, I'm going to repeat, I call it new energy, or we call it new energy, because it's squeaky clean, brand new, like newborn. No programming on it, no karma on it, no contaminant on it. It is pure, infinite consciousness. And you can hit this state of energy and hit this state of consciousness no matter what your chronological age. And I'm seeing it in all different age ranges. So it's not a particular age range. Really depends on the journey of you as a soul as to if or as when you will hit that state. What I can tell you is relationships from that state of awareness have very different potential to those in the older states of awareness, in the non-0 point new energy field. Because the old way of running energy and old relationship formats do have the baggage on them, do have the history on them, do have the soul history on them. If you go down the karmic route, I don't really so much go along those lines now, but if you want to refer to karma, the old energy would be that karmic kind of playoff. Very heavily programmed, very heavy belief systems. That's the old energy in comparison to the new. So if you are in that purity state of blissed out new energy consciousness, and whether you realized it or not, you are having at your fingertips huge capability to create, influence, form the reality, the perception of your reality, but the actual physical reality that you would ideally want. And at that point of consciousness, you are going to be able to be very, very good at creating. Now, the reason why people aren't creating very much at that level is because they didn't know that they could. They're not in the habit of creating. Most of us as human beings are in the habit of responding to our circumstances around us, and sometimes in a way defending ourselves from them, recovering from them. We're not used to recognizing, we've not got into the habit yet of actually creating what we wish to create in the mindful use of our energy first. Just in some of the ways that I've said on earlier videos on this channel about actualizing and attuning to your own timeline. But doing all that in your energy first, and from that positive, joyful, happy, excited, childlike emotional state, and then actually stepping into the reality that we would like, as that forms after we have used the entry point of our energy and our excited, childlike emotional states. And so relationships, life experience from that point, new energy point, is very different, or has the capacity to be very different. At first, as people enter that state of consciousness, they don't actually feel that different. They have some subtle or subconscious awareness of it, but because life has been kind of plodding on and pretty much carrying on as it always did around them, it takes them a while in a way to catch up to the opportunity that they do have. But once they do, they quickly get on to the creative aspect of it, because that energy is all about creation. It's not a state of consciousness designed to just be in a responsive mode, a reactive mode to responding and reacting to what's going on around you. It's a creative, squeaky clean state of consciousness. Nothing to do with healing the past or anything like that. It's all about now. It's all about this very, very second. New energy is totally and absolutely all about now. So I'm going to keep the now moment, absolutely now, not what might be coming, although you can play with that, with the creative potential, but treat it when you play with that as if it were now anyway. But I'm going to keep referring to it as new energy just for simplicity, even though really it actually what it is, it's a return to our purest, highest base rate of consciousness, which has been there for a while, but because of the conducive energy states going on around us and within us, i.e. what we term ascension, with these different entry points and opportunities in energies outside of us and within us to activate within the heart, we are returning in a way to a state that has always been there. We are returning to our natural state, minus the mess, really, minus the programming, minus the belief systems, minus the karmic play out, minus the baggage, minus the history. We're going back to the starting point, and that's what new energy is. For me personally, I feel it's one of the most exciting energies on the planet at this moment in time. And just a year or 18 months ago, I was only working with a small percentage of people that had hit that point, but that is increasing on a weekly basis. In fact, I would actually go to say now that I would say around about half of all my clients now have hit new energy. That's new clients or returning clients have hit new energy, which is amazing. I mean, that's quite an increase over the last sort of year, 18 months, when it was hardly ever occurring, and now it's occurring more and more. So it's very exciting, and that's what it is. And I'd had several different people in the last few weeks ask me to just bring out a short video clarifying, so they could watch it, what the definition of new energy is. Even though I explain it at length in the sessions, because the sessions are pretty full on, I really pack a lot, actually. I pack a hell of a lot into those sessions. And I advise people, if they can't record them, to just record them by writing things down so that they remember it all. Sometimes it's easier, and I've been referring back to my videos quite a bit lately. If I've got advice of people and say, oh yeah, why don't you check back on the one on creation, or check back on this one, or check back on that one. And it's great, really, because it's really beginning to help back up the current present day work that I'm doing. The videos that I've brought out, especially in the last couple of months, are backing up that work, so I can refer to them to help back up the work that I've done in the session, which is super. Anyway, I'm going to keep this one short because I'm probably going to record another one straight after this on the relationships that are forming in this new energy. So I'm going to keep the new energy little bit of this like this, because the new energy doesn't just apply to relationships, it applies to everything, your whole perception of your world, what you're creating in your world, the opportunities that you have. It's a state of purity consciousness that we are returning to. It is our entry point. Many millions of people will hit that point over a period of time. I don't know how many years that will take, but they will over a point of time. Some people won't, because they won't choose that route on them as a soul will choose another route, or they won't choose to enter that state of consciousness at all. Every soul's journey is different. But I think it's one of the most exciting. So I think personally it's the most exciting energy on the planet, because it's limitless. When I work with people and I feel that, you can feel it, it's limitless. It was important for me to say that new energy is, as a state of consciousness, is a multi-dimensional state of consciousness. So it is multi-dimensional, it is parallel timelines, it is all of those things. And even if the people that have entered that as an entry point or got up to that point realize it or not, it has all of that capability of it on it. So I often refer to when you, or if you hit that point of consciousness, that because it's infinite and it's multidimensional and it's not really in a linear format whatsoever. It's my saying is, when you hit that point, it's not a one, it's many aspects of the one. So there are many aspects to the one. It's all, everything is multiplied. It's infinite. It's limitless. It's really exciting energy. It moves much faster and it's much lighter than the old form of it. It's much faster and lighter than soul energy. It's very, well, it's very, in a way, it's very playful. It's got a purity about it that it makes me, when I feel it in people and see it in people, it's very childlike, actually, really. It's an optimum state at which to start to create. I should have that as a car sticker. It's an optimum state to start to create. On that note, I will love you and leave you. Short and sweet, because it's just really a definition, so I won't get into it. I think I've covered everything I need to cover there. So I will love you and leave you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, and hope you found that informative. Thank you. Bye.